I'm doing fine. So leave me alone, so leave me alone, so leave me alone. I'm doing fine. So leave me alone, so leave me alone, so leave me alone. I'm doing fine. So leave me alone, so leave me alone, so leave me alone. I'm doing fine. So leave me alone, so leave me alone, so leave me alone, leave me alone.
Well, raise your hand if you were on TV today. Seems like we have 2 out of 3 raising their hands.
Why was Terry afraid to say? Like, me too.
I didn't want Zach to feel left out.
I feel I'm okay being the outcast in that regard. My brand has never been really designed to be on TV, but welcome everybody to Anarchist Jurisdiction. I'm going to try to remind people at the top of the show, please hit the share button because that helps us out with the viewers and makes us feel better about ourselves. But I'm joined, of course, by Terry Holloman, who almost got a record deal with Death Row Records. Dude, I've been processing that story since you told it, and you and Jackie Cunningham, who you both hosted New Day Northwest, the midday chat show up there in Seattle. I'm in Portland, of course, one of the second of 3 anarchist jurisdictions.
I'm from Kaiser.
Oh wow!
It was Z100 in Portland.
There are a lot of Z100s. I mean, there's like the really famous one.
Yeah.
And then the others that seem to like want to capitalize from that.
We were like the poor man's Z100 in Portland.
Right. So Jackie, you and Terry did, and you did the show, and it's not the kind of show that would really facilitate the sort of story that Terry told me on Tuesday. That I
was hesitant to tell it.
Why? Pull back the curtain. Tell people about the real Terry.
No. The real Terry has 7 felonies on his record.
Ooh.
Yeah. Is Q from QAnon.
Yeah.
Terry every once in a while just like parcels out these little nuggets about himself, and they always just blow my mind. And then Tuesday was like, I mean, for 20 minutes I just sat here.
So you're just in the middle of like a normal conversation. He'll go, "Oh gosh, I remember when I was a backup dancer for Justin Timberlake," and he tries to just act like it's no big deal and goes on. And you go, "Wait, hold on." He
sort of like we're talking about him like he's not right there.
I'm not here. Back to you in a second.
He talks about it like this is a story you're never going to believe, and then but again, I have no reason not to trust him. And come on, who doesn't believe Terry Holloman? So he tells this story, but then it's like, if anybody else told me this story, then I would not believe it. Jackie, just to catch you up, and this is a bit of a recap of Tuesday's show. He went to Mike Tyson's birthday party.
And who doesn't?
Who hasn't been there? Yeah. I mean, I always just turn down the invites because it's like been there, done that.
Every year you're like, whatever.
Become champ again, Mike, and then maybe I'll be interested. And that was not even close to the most interesting detail. The only reason that we found out about that is because he was there in LA to win. And of course, to win, you need to be in contestant on The Weakest Link, which was like a really big show at the time.
Okay.
And then the punch me in the goddamn face detail was that Suge Knight was at the party. And Terry and all his, how old were you at this time, Terry?
Mid-20s.
Mid-20s. Okay. The cockiness of the hip hop era would just he decided, you know what? I'm here. Suge's here, and I think that the reason that he went to the party was for Suge. That's the way it seemed. I'm going to go right up to this guy and introduce myself as I'm here as a Weakest Link contestant, and see what headway I can make with Suge Knight. And it worked.
Well, I mean, have you seen Terry? He's such a charmer.
Yeah. No, it's true. I mean, Terry is good at charming those who watch New Day Northwest. This is an amazing range that you have.
Like New Day Northwest party with Suge Knight. Like it's only Terry Holloman that can pull these things off.
I mean, why wouldn't they go together? It flows naturally to me.
True. Yeah, because segment A of Minor New Terry's going to show us something new to do with Rami you never thought of. In segment B, he's going to recall the time he approached a murderer and got a rap contract.
Yeah, I mean, it's a totally normal Tuesday for Terry Holloman.
Apparently.
Hey, it was what it was, man. It was a different life.
I
Yeah.
I
love
have moved on and transgressed to the next level.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious. And you really are kind of a chameleon, Terry. Like, he's the type, I've seen him at lots of fundraisers and get-togethers, and he does he can talk to any group of people. It is a skill.
It's a survival technique.
It really is.
I moved around a lot as a kid, so I was a new kid at like every year. So I had to figure it out real quick.
Hey, it worked out for you. So
It's a great talent. It's a great talent to
I'm
have.
going to counseling.
Oh, range is supposedly, a good thing to have, to be able to chat with, not only politicians, but, all the various groups of people that you may have to interact with as a someday, hopefully, again, broadcaster.
I will think that some of my toughest interviews when I was in radio was with musical artists, because first of all, I'm probably tone deaf. I have no rhythm, and I'm not that creative, artsy person. And one of my toughest interviews was Lady Gaga, because I asked her about fashion, what inspires you? And she said, skyscrapers. And I was like, I don't know how to talk to you.
Yeah.
What does that mean, Gaga?
I don't know. She had on, it was like 7 a.m. She had an outfit on that looked like she was in Star Trek. She had glasses on, and I was just sitting there. No one in the room tried to even throw me a life preserver. They just sat back and laughed and watched, and I was like, kill me now.
Well, the worst thing is that you have to take that answer seriously.
Yeah, I did.
And then try it. Yeah.
All right.
Instead of saying, what kind of nonsense are you into?
I'm older and wiser now, and I feel like now I'd say, I don't know how to talk to you.
Yeah. Again, there is a visual element to the show. If you're listening to this, then you're not seeing what I'm seeing, which is a very distracting photo of a pig snout over Jackie's shoulder. I cannot stop staring at it.
You want me to move my head over a little bit so it blocks the pig?
I don't know if I find it unpleasant. It's just
thing, right?
Yeah, I can't stop looking
at
at the snout.
Zach,
Barbara, she was on New Day today as well. So, Zach, you really weren't invited after everybody else.
I know.
That's what I was just about to say, Zach. I don't know if you knew that, and I'm not sure if anybody that's watching this knows that. That Jackie has a pig, like a real pig.
I do.
Like a pet pig.
Yeah, do you want me? I can walk over and show you her.
Yeah.
Why not?
She's chilling out right now in front of the fireplace. That's really the only thing she does all day. And she's
awesome.
Roughly 23 and a half hours a day. Okay, so here she is. There, Barbara.
Oh, look at that, sweetie.
You hear her? She's very honky. Oh, she's got. Yeah.
She's cranky.
She's very bitchy. I'm not gonna lie.
What's her name?
Barbara.
How long have you had her for?
About 8 years.
What's her fashion style?
Her fashion style is kind of a sheep dry pigskin look with pine needles usually on her back when she's sunbathing. She doesn't like when I put like costumes on her and stuff. I do get, I try to do like something for Halloween, something, because she gets very mad.
Yeah. No, in the same way.
And she's a big girl, so only deep V's for her. No turtlenecks. She's very necky.
So pigs are supposedly as smart as dolphins,
She's super smart. She's potty trained, goes outside, knows when to be bitchy to me. That's a plus, right?
Yeah. So you actually describe the pet experience. I don't know if you've ever had a dog, but can you compare it to having a dog?
I have 2 dogs. You might hear them tonight too. Yeah, no, I've always had dogs, cats. We had a pet skunk when I was growing up too. So it's not like I'm afraid of different kinds of animals, but I always wanted a pig. So I bought, Barbara when she was 3 months old. She was 4 pounds, and they told me she'd be 40 pounds. Mm-hmm. She's a good 125 now, easily.
Wow.
You've been taking care of her very well, is what you're saying.
Yeah, she lives large. Because here's my thought. If you starve a pig to keep them small so you can take them in your purse with you, they're strong on so many levels. Because if a pig can't be fat, then the rest of us stand no chance.
Yeah, what chance do we have?
She could be fat. That's how they're cute.
What do you feed a domestic pig? I know I've seen the farm type pigs where you just slop them.
You know, she's getting so big. I feel like I should just get the big old pile of sweet potatoes delivered and just throw those at her. But I actually go to my local feed store, which I actually have one of those, sadly, and I buy her pot-bellied pig food. It's like little protein pellets.
Oh, get out of town.
And then she's a garbage disposal, basically. She'll eat anything. She ate AA batteries once.
Oh,
Haven't we all?
I kept waiting to see if she gets sick. Nothing.
Where the fuck do you people live? I mean, it's just.
I'm in an HOA neighborhood, and it's like you could have one like pet pig per household.
I feel like Terry one day is just gonna be like, "Hey, so I have emus now."
No, I want all sorts of pets, but I'm gonna wait. You know, while Barbara's still with us, I will just stick to the pig.
I've never thought of that, Zach. Have you ever? What is the life expectancy of a pig? Like,
I guess
that has never crossed my mind.
So I've had her about 8, almost 9 years, 15 years.
Okay, so like a dog.
Yeah, like a big cranky dog.
I know that there's some birds that live like 70, 75 years. So
yeah, birds
like,
and turtles, you have to like will to people because they live longer than you usually.
Right, which seems like, you know, usually when you bequeath something to someone upon your passing, it's like a benefit to them. It's property or cash.
Exactly.
You really have to have someone young and special in your life to be like, well, yeah, I'm going to need someone to take care of this cockatoo.
Well, and it's not like this
in 2077.
It's not like a cat where you can leave food and water in a cat box and go out of town. Like, I went to Puerto Rico right before, you know, the hurricane just hit it, like 3 months before, and there was a bird in the lobby that I just fell in love with, and it was like, oh, this is so and so. He's been here since 1901. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, that is kind of depressing. Like, it's crazy. And he only knows one word.
Stupid bird.
I know, right?
And that's one pet. There's two pets that I love you for having a pig. And I like unusual pets. I think even the skunk thing is cute. I just watched, if you follow on Instagram, the account, The Dodo, there was just a really cute skunk story.
Yeah.
Awesome. But birds and ferrets, like if you have one of those two pets, there's something off kilter. I feel like about you.
Yeah,
I think the same thing.
Yeah.
Birds, I'm kind of afraid of birds. I like to see them like the one in Puerto Rico. It's like, oh, you're so pretty. But my mom got one time when I was younger, and it was super mean. And she'd let it out, and she'd put it on the back of the couch, and this bird would run across the back of the couch with its beak open, like coming at you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I don't know why you want this pet. And ferrets are really smelly.
Ferrets stink. It's immediately, you know, you're entering like a ferret owner's house.
Oh yeah. I mean, I have a pig and you don't smell her, but a ferret, you'd walk in and go, whoa, what is that?
Yeah, they have like those sacks of, I don't even know why they
never
smell
use the word sacks, first of all.
It's a wild animal. Like, where do you find a ferret? Like, where do you find a ferret in its natural
like, you know, Petco, but they're
in the
cages.
In nature, where they're South American, or you don't find ferrets in American forests, do you?
I've never seen one running around my green belt behind my house. I'll tell you that, Terry. So I don't really know.
Exactly.
Petco. That's all I know is Petco.
Well, I just adopted a murder hornet.
Oh,
and
you know
it's really cute and really misunderstood.
My friend's house in Blaine is the one that has the murder hornets.
Okay,
of all houses, Terry knows Nicole.
Zach was trying to be funny, I think, and now you get him with the real deal.
No, I was trying to be funny. No one would adopt a murder hornet. I did adopt a manslaughter hornet because it was a crime of passion.
You're such a dork. No, but I was blown away when I found out that I knew someone whose friend has that property in Blaine with all those murder hornets.
Yeah, oh, wow. I mean that was the first case discovered in the United States.
I know.
Yeah,
it's so creepy. Those things terrify me. Their faces look kind of real. Like,
but don't you think it's a little bit irresponsible of scientists to just go ahead and call them murder hornets? Like, we're never going to accept them. Do you remember the killer bees that have supposedly been coming across the Texas border for like the past 27 years, but haven't really gotten here? They didn't need to call them. Oh wait, actually, they weren't just killer bees. They were Africanized.
Africanized.
Bees, yeah.
Oh, so they made it racist. And they called them killers.
Dangerous.
With the murder,
Worthy.
so they do eat
That's true.
heads of other bees. And if I hit your head, I'd be in the paper as a murderer.
Which, by the way, have you ever heard the adjective Africanized applied to anything?
Look, here come the Africanized bees.
Right? How
It's
would
like-
that happen?
It's like the PR firm was like, people aren't scared of them enough. We're calling them killer bees. You
Call
think
them
that they would be really frightened? And some intern was like, "What if we just said they were Africanized?"
That's.
Oh my god!
You see those Africanized young gentlemen on the corner over there? Don't go over there. They're Africanized.
Pretty rough on
Right.
that corner. Stay away. They've been Africanized.
They're
I
great
was
malt
crossing
liquor.
the street for other reasons. All right, had nothing to do with the fact that they were Africanized.
Africanized young men.
Yeah, yeah. Poor murder hornets. Who knows? They might just be, kind of misunderstood.
They're big. They're big, and if I crossed one, I would not even doubt the murder status. So, I don't think I would know though to call like Fish and Wildlife or whoever it is you call, or whoever they called when they found that nest. Like, I wouldn't know who to call.
Yeah, I feel like that's not enough. I want someone over with a gun.
Yeah. I would have burned it or something and probably got attacked, and I would have been murdered actually. But I would have panicked and handled it myself.
Do you ever reflect on something that you said like 4 minutes ago and just feel so immediately shamed for it? Like, did I really do a manslaughter hornet joke?
You did.
Jeez.
You did. We heard it. We were here for that.
We did. It was the less
Spending-
violent of the.
I'm
of the
spending
hornet.
too much time
Yeah.
alone. I'm turning into Rupert Pupkin.
We all have.
Yeah.
Trust me.
The saddest thing is that when I got it out, I was like, that was decent. And then
That's-
like immediately my brain started reeling like, what did you just do? Oh my
I
God.
was rolling with it.
I
called
know.
it.
And that's
Fine
God
with
bless
it.
you, Terry.
Yeah.
But
That's
It's
like,
only
I
my
think-
first time on this show, so I have to go. It was a good one, Zach.
yeah, thank you. Thank you both for your kindness in this, burgeoning holiday season.
what's the name? What's the name? Robin on the Howard Stern show.
Oh, she just goes with everything.
Ah!
Yeah. Oh, Howard.
I could be your laugher. Oh my God, Zach, you're hilarious.
Yeah. It's funny that you bring that show up because that show was so important to me as we all have tangential relationship with radio at this point. Let's face it. But we were all immersed in it, and he was clearly, one of the reasons that I got into it. But I've been revisiting a lot of things that I used to think were genius. So I've been listening to old Howard tapes and then currently listening to his new show. And other than he is a phenomenal interviewer.
Yeah.
I will give him that. Like, I remember just listening to him once and he got Barbara Walters to admit she had a crush on Richard Nixon. And I'm like, that's a moment that no one else could bring out of you. So he has talent there. But all the stuff that he used to think was funny, man, is not really at all.
Doesn't really hit anymore.
Doesn't really hit anymore.
Wasn't
It
it
was
just
just.
kind of more just dirty humor than smart humor, or
I have no problem with dirty humor like that.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like at the time, the premise was always like, here's Howard Stern, who's smart, who will also slum it.
Yeah.
And then, try to make, the working Joe laugh or whatever. But what I realize now is that it was just full on stupid. Yeah.
the bar. It's hard to. I can't really say the bar's been set higher because we know what radio's like right now. But
It's garbage. Yeah.
it's super. Yeah, it's painful. But I don't know. It's like, I guess because it was like everybody said he was great, so then you were like, yeah, he's great. And then once you're in the industry long enough and you do your own show or whatever, you kind of go, well, isn't that great?
Yeah.
It wasn't always scripted. Everything was scripted, and I don't know. It's weird to me because I've always loved radio because it's spontaneous and you can just be yourself and say whatever and go from topic to topic and just roll with it. But when it's all written out, like a whole show, to me, now that I know it, it kind of ruins it for me.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I'm going to bring up something else that has not aged well, not in terms of like, he was making jokes that are now deemed inappropriate because, Richard Pryor's entire career would be written off then. And his stuff is still brilliant. But I just watched 10 episodes, and this will sound sacrilege, of Chappelle's Show.
Oh,
It's not as good as I remember it.
I didn't think he was that good this last week on SNL.
Yeah.
Dude, let me tell you, I'm glad you said that because I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah.
I sat and I watched like 3 episodes today. Like I know, like for probably the last 15, 20 years, I've been like, Dave Chappelle, I remember that show. Whenever I think back to it, so many great skits, comedy sketches, so many great one-liners that I still say to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, and I thought in my head, I was like, man, I remember having such a good time watching that show. I can't wait to turn like my kids onto this. And I watched like 3 episodes today. I was like, my kids will never watch this.
Yeah.
We're never watching this together.
No, and I thought, because I've never been a huge Dave Chappelle fan. And so then when I saw he was on SNL this last week, I was like, okay, I'm going to watch it because maybe I just haven't been getting it. And I remember all the stories about, oh, Dave Chappelle had another meltdown this week. So I feel like more of my life I've known that he's had some, some issues. So I gave it a try, and I didn't even finish the opening monologue. Like it just, I don't know, it just bored me. He was smoking the whole time, like he seemed nervous. And I don't know, it just
suffered from some anxiety issues too.
Yeah.
One of the key components of being a stand-up comedian is some sort of rabid mental health issue. Like there's no one.
Comedians, and I feel like comedians can be the most depressed people you've ever known.
They're always the most depressed people. Yeah,
it's crazy, and it's everyone goes, "I'm going to go see a comedian because they're so funny," and you're like, "Well, on stage because it's a basically a memorized monologue they do all over the place, but in life they're super complicated."
Well, because no one's jokes are ever like, "Oh my God, my nephew, who I love and have a stable relationship with, as I do with my wife, did the cutest, funniest thing today." Jokes come from this horrible place of darkness. So unless you've experienced trauma, you probably aren't even worthy of being on stage.
Well, I feel like all of us could be on stage after 2020.
Yeah, I guess.
It's a dark year.
Yeah, it has. If you had to pick out your brightest moment of the year, even if it only lasted like 30 to 45 seconds, even if it meant like you were waiting for whatever thing you were microwaving to finish, would you even be able to pick out what that moment would be?
Well, I always feel as a mom, like you look so bad if you don't go, well, I was with my son.
No, that's terrible.
With my kids.
No.
I had a couple of really fun, great weekends where I got away with really good friends and had a blast, but it was like just not a year like normal years. Like, first of all, I feel like it's flown by, like, which is so strange because we were in
weirdly has.
But we really couldn't take our normal trips. Work has been different with having to work from home. Like everything's just been different. So I feel like it's just been blah.
Yeah, I agree. I think, and when you say, I'm gonna tell you like that. For me, it's been a combination. It's been a weird combination of flying by because to me it seems like it is flown by right now. But then when you stop and think back to what your life was like in like March, April, and there was nothing going on. Like there were no cars on the freeway. There was no businesses open. And you were in days were just dragging and dragging and dragging. And there was like, we had nothing to do. Like there was you couldn't go to a TV station. You couldn't go to a radio station. You couldn't go to do anything. And those days seemed to drag. But now after we've been in our routine of this life.
Yeah, because people are starting to get used to how to do work from home. And like today, doing New Day Northwest, doing a whole TV show from your house, it was the hardest part was no teleprompter. Because you're trying to like remember things and not look up and down. Dogs barking during Talk Zone with Terry. I was like, seriously, Johnny, like quiet the whole morning. Terry comes on and he's losing his mind. But it's like you kind of start finding a way to do the stuff you used to do, but on a different level.
Yeah.
I'm going out of town this Sunday for a first airplane trip since this all started. So I'm going to be like double masked.
Yeah, I seriously considered that. I took an airplane trip. Which I don't know why we're talking like that. I took an airplane trip. No,
an aeroplane.
Yeah, an arrow. Yeah, it was great. I got peanuts and the pilot gave me those little wings.
The stewardesses were so nice.
So nice, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was sort of surreal though. Like it will feel surreal.
CNN did something yesterday, and they were talking about travel because the holidays are coming up. Obviously, the governor spoke today about, please, if you don't have to, try not to go see family for Thanksgiving this one year. We got to get COVID under control. But they actually said, of all the things, they said that airline travel, if it's like about a 2-hour flight or less, they haven't seen much as far as COVID cases, because you get to the airport, everyone has to have masks on the plane. You have to have masks on. People are social distance on the plane, and they've got air filtration.
One thing that is inaccurate is that no one is social distance on the plane. I was actually surprised by that. Yeah, I flew on a very full row.
Oh,
yeah.
So, yeah, she said if everyone in the center row, and I was like, man, I don't remember if they did that to us, but that made me feel a little better. And
you should feel good about it, because I think and we just haven't seen those massive outbreaks coming from air travel.
Not yet. So I was like, okay, that actually makes me feel a little better. And then when you're on your trip, you're just with like the person you go with, and try to stay away from people if you can.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like, it's hard to even say what my big moment of 2020 was. I mean, it's being on the show, you guys. Like, just being a part.
Come on and lie to us.
Show. I can just
you were on a network television show today. So, this is just a shitty dessert.
No, this is big time, Zach. This is big time, and I'm very honored to be here.
Thank you. I appreciate
that. What about you guys? Did you have a big moment of 2020?
Well, can I tell you, like, there's real ones.
Yeah.
But I have to say, there was one moment, and it sounds so stupid. It is stupid. But I found a huge mispriced container of Gruyere cheese. Like, it should have been like $16, but it was like $2.50.
What?
So I bought the whole thing, and I still.
It was like you found cheese at like Marshall's.
Yeah, is what it was. That's exactly what it was. Yeah, like the brand name was on it, but it had been marked down.
That's exciting.
It's a true story. Like I remember sitting there. I was there, and I was like, well, I'm gonna get away with something here. I'm gonna get away with all this cheese, like, because it's Gruyere is not really snacking cheese. You just add it to recipes, so it is. It's going to last me a long time.
I mean, trust me, I don't downplay that story. I think I love finding good deals.
Yeah.
Terry, did you get a discounted cheese block?
I've never got a discounted cheese block to this day. I'm looking forward to that day.
Yeah.
I did at one time, but it wasn't in 2020. I got discounted like Backsplash when I was remodeling my house.
That can be expensive though. So
it was
about that.
It was very expensive, but they miscalculated it, and I didn't realize that until after I left the store. Don't tell nobody though.
Oh no. I am actually, now I think about it, I ordered a couch from Wayfair. They sent me 2 on accident. So I'm sending back 1, and they're like, okay, we'll credit you when we get it back. I'm like, do I tell them I still have another couch?
It's on you to catch your own mistake.
You're in an anarchist jurisdiction.
Well, when it came, I thought it was the 1 couch in 2 boxes. You know what I mean? And then I open it, and I'm like, I got 2 couches.
Too many pieces.
Too much. So I was like, I guess I got a free couch from Wayfair.
That's a blessing. That was the Lord blessing you.
That was the way that God works, as I understand it.
For us,
but I'm a very Old Testament guy. I don't know what they say about couches in the New Testament.
I know, right? Yeah. I do. I don't want to curse myself and then
he shall be smite.
God did love smiting people for a while.
God shall smite you and strike your eyes out.
Oh man, I need a better 2021 than a 2020. So I feel bad about not reporting the extra couch.
I don't think there's anything. There's no such thing as karma anymore either.
I think I'm with you on that, because I know too many people that the karma bus should have slowly run over, and they just keep thriving.
Yeah.
So no, I don't believe it either. No,
I've never really believed in it for selfish reasons, because just like I didn't want to think about some of the repercussions of my behavior.
Well,
but
I'm going to hell from all the things I probably said and done just in my radio years. But
yeah,
I want good to come back every once in a while.
Yeah, you make up for it, right? Or here's what I do. I imagine scenarios where I'm a good person and the endorphins are released, and then I never actually need to do those things.
Oh.
Yeah. Like I imagine myself at a soup kitchen, and it's realistic enough that it's like, I know how good that would feel.
You wake up from a dream and you're like, gosh, I was just helping people.
God, even the thought of doing such a nice thing is that's enough for me.
I should go treat myself to something.
I should. Yeah. You know what? I deserve. I do. I deserve a little.
I'm gonna go get some gourmet cheese.
Like my friend Bo, he just came to socially distant visit in the backyard here, and he dropped $5 out of his pocket, and I told him about it, and I thought, what a good person I am.
Aw.
That
And instead of
is
just,
good.
and then
You know,
he doesn't want it back.
You know
But,
you
uh,
want
Yeah, you can keep it like a tip.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. It's it's sort of like finding Santa's wallet in Christmas in Hollis.
Oh, you
I
want to
keep all my kids' money when I find it in the dryer because I'm doing the laundry.
My mom used to do the same thing. Yeah, she called it her tip.
Oh, absolutely. And my son Jordan, who by the way just turned 21 yesterday, he's in LA.
Yeah.
He forgets, like he's like just a total ditz, and he will leave like 20s in his pockets.
Yeah. What's he doing in LA?
Him and a couple of friends went just to celebrate his birthday.
Oh, okay. So he's not moving out there.
No. He just wanted to, I think again, 2020's left him pretty crazy, like going nuts. He's been back home from college since March.
Mm-hmm.
So technically I should be in LA.
Right.
Oh, such a slob. And but yeah, he planned this just because I think he needed a break in everything. But they've had fun so far. Restaurants are still, open down there as far as I was kind of worried because I'm going to Palm Springs and they're like a code purple or something.
Yeah.
I don't even know what code purple is. I just know it's the worst.
I got a feling that everything is about to shut down again.
Oh, I need to
like everywhere.
guys.
I hate to say it, but I just got a feeling maybe for
I do too.
3 or 4 weeks.
I kind of think so too. Your governor, my former governor, Jay Inslee, seemed to hint at that today. Then what Washington does, Oregon soon follows. So it seems like that seems inevitable.
Has been fairly, I can't say totally shut down, but mostly it's outdoor seating at restaurants and because their weather's still a lot warmer. But like, I just have to get through to the 20th and then they can shut everything back down again. Okay. Just need 5 days to like feel like a normal human being.
I got to ask you guys, I don't get out that much.
Okay.
These days. I'm trying to figure out how it is and why it is that so many people still think that this thing is a hoax.
I don't know.
It's not real. Like
because none of their friends have it.
Yeah.
I get that. But at first it was like, it was just, people on the coast, on the West Coast and New York and all that, right? Mm-hmm. And then so the people in the Midwest, I get it. They didn't understand. But now they are getting crushed.
That's because they didn't believe it and nobody wore masks. Like when we first started, I remember Washington was the big, like before it even suddenly became a disaster in New York. Like it was really Washington State that was the biggest.
Snohomish.
What's that?
Snohomish was the first one.
Yeah. So it's like I feel like we got things I wouldn't say under control, but we had tighter rules here. And I remember I had to just go down and see some family friends for a weekend in Oregon. And I drove down, and as soon as I crossed into Oregon, you stop for things and you're like kind of looking around, like no one was wearing masks anywhere I went. I was like, this is I feel like I was in the Twilight Zone. And then it was like a week or two later when I got home, Oregon's numbers just started. So it's almost like it does have to, like Texas has over 1 million cases now. And it's like, sadly, you have a lot of Trump supporters that listen to what he says. They don't think it's real. And what bothered me is when he'd have the rallies, they'd say, I'm totally at peace with what happens to me, so I don't need to wear a mask. And it's like, well, it's not just about you. Like you could give it to someone else whose grandma then dies because of you. Yeah. Like it's such a selfish thing when you go to outdoor events or anywhere outside your house where you think you're so almighty that you don't wear a mask for other people.
Yeah.
It's very. That's the thing. Yeah, you're just not making a decision for yourself. You're making a decision.
But I don't think they get that because they all said the same thing when they were interviewed. It's like, I'm not afraid of COVID, and if I get it, I'm at peace, and I've lived a great life. And I'm like, okay, but you could leave this rally and go home and give it to one of your grandkids, right?
Right.
Yeah. And so even though they try to say kids are fine, I saw a couple on CNN the other day whose only child, who was 5, died, and she had no underlying health issues, nothing. And so, you got to think about the people that you're bringing it home to. And
plus the masks, I think the masks really helped out a lot of people. I was, in terms of covering up their fucking ugly faces, it's amazing how many unattractive people have been able to skate lately as being maybe they're okay.
Right. If I could do my makeup perfect and my hair.
That's it. If you have a decent set of eyes and, not a horrendous nose,
I don't.
which
Actually,
should be covered up anyway.
There was a skit done a few weeks back on SNL about having to date during COVID.
Yeah, not really seeing the lower half of the face.
Yeah, like you could have no chin, you could have gnarly teeth.
Yeah,
I don't know how
there were some
dating someone in COVID. How would you even begin to do that? Because how are you gonna go on a date and do what? Like,
I don't know. And they have those stupid Match commercials that the people are like sitting down with their wine and they're like, oh my God, it's so nice to finally meet you. And I'm thinking that is the last thing I want to do any night of the week is get onto a Zoom call with a stranger and just sit and do awkward talk.
It does sound horrendous, doesn't it?
I literally would rather die.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I've just been single during COVID because I just don't even get how you could date and enjoy it. It's just not, no.
Nerve-wracking, I would imagine.
Really,
I mean, even if you can get together in person, like maybe that's a possibility. But beyond that, like, it's always be in the back of your head, like, oh, am I going to become someone who's contact traced? Like, that's just another thing that I have to worry about.
Also, I have heard, though, from people that do still try to online date and talk to these new people. And now.
Oh, gay guys, you mean? It hasn't affected their lifestyle whatsoever.
But no,
Grindr is up and running 100%.
Oh, I can't meet up yet because I just found out I have COVID. So people are using COVID as an excuse to get away from people during online dating instead of ghosting them.
That's pretty freaking clever.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that is kind of clever.
It isn't really easy because how do you argue that? You don't go, I'm sure you're fine. No, I'm positive. I swear.
Well,
but
the thing is, like, couldn't you say COVID doesn't like if I had COVID right now and we're using something similar to Zoom, it wouldn't. I can't infect the both of you.
This is if you've talked for.
This is in person. Okay.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, maybe we could hang out and meet somewhere. People will use COVID to get on.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's great.
Which is brilliant.
I think that's totally brilliant.
I don't get it. There's just nothing in it. No. Mm-mm.
Well, there's just that. I get it in that there's that innate need to connect with other people. I've been told I don't feel things.
I'm like,
soulless burns.
Oh, I could be home for a year straight with my pig and my dogs, and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
But you guys are both married?
No.
You're not. Terry, you've been married forever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah. I'm curious with you, Terry, then during like the quarantine, like the stay-at-home order, did you guys get stronger or did you want to just murder each other after a certain point in time?
What doesn't kill you make you stronger.
I was just curious.
Yeah, that's yeah, she's watching.
I feel like some people he's not PC about things. We had a great time.
Yeah.
I feel like it was probably like that. Like it probably ruined some relationships big time.
I'm sure it did. Ours, we did pretty good. So here's the truth. We were good.
Yeah.
We had 4 kids to deal with during the process. She was pretty much essential from the beginning. So she would go to work and do her thing. So, so we still had, a time apart. And, but I think, we all kind of got to lock ourselves in the house and hunker down and kind of be the rock for each other. So
yeah,
that's what we did.
I remembered hearing that Kelly Clarkson and her husband are getting a divorce, and not that it made me laugh. She's getting a divorce, but
it's funny.
They thought they're having trouble. So when the whole COVID thing happened, because she's always traveling and she works like crazy, they thought, oh my gosh, we'll finally be able to spend time together. We've never had that. We can work on our relationship. Mm-hmm. And then they're suddenly home together nonstop for like 3 months. And now and then they
don't like each other.
Yeah.
Well, so and then she caught him watching Ellen. And she's got her own talk show.
She's like,
well, she dances better than you, Kelly. You've never been a good dancer.
Yeah.
No, I think, I think like in their situation and a lot of people's situations, I think when you're quarantined and locked in a room with somebody who maybe you didn't necessarily, you were married to, but you didn't spend, because we're busy. People's lives are busy, right?
Yeah.
We're coming and going. Maybe you find out that person isn't necessarily who you thought they were, or you don't really know them like you thought you did.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the blessing in disguise, right?
Thank you, Terry.
Absolutely.
I know you're speaking directly to me, and I appreciate it.
Anybody in tiny doses, really. You know what I mean? So if your spouse or you work out of town constantly and they're home for like 2 days, gone 5 days,
yeah, like the Christopher Walken marriage. Like he's never in the whole film. Just,
it'd be super nice. I feel like I kind of need that if I'm going to actually date or even consider it again. I need someone that's like a long haul trucker.
Yeah, just comes in, tells a couple good jokes, makes dinner, and then it's like, see you again in 28 days.
Hour leaves. I'm like, bye-bye.
Yeah. Yeah, but going forward, and this is kind of a recurring theme, but it's something that's always evolving for me. So I think I have my Thanksgiving plans finally worked out, and it seemed for like a little while that I might be spending it alone, and not to bring everybody down. But that would have been the darkest day in human history. And I'm including Pearl Harbor. And
wow.
Yeah. I mean, people would be talking about it. There'd be anniversaries. They
Pearl
would be
Harbor, 9/11.
They would be reading my name, every fourth Thursday from November on as the boy who spent Thanksgiving alone and was sad.
That is super sad.
But it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. I am going to actually have at least my dad around. And then someone else pretty special. So that's good.
What does that mean?
What's that?
The dad and someone pretty special.
Oh, that was purposely vague. Did you not like that?
You know that.
Do you not like that when I'm coy?
No, I'd like to find out more about this.
Well, it's someone.
You don't invite a girl on the show, Zach, and then throw little, and someone special.
Well, when I say pretty special, I mean that she's in a wheelchair and needs a tube to communicate. I don't. Sorry.
Okay.
That bomb worse than
I
was like, what?
I'll get ready to close my laptop down.
You know why I didn't believe it was because they're telling everybody like, don't have grandma over for Thanksgiving.
Right.
You don't want to kill grandma.
That would personally be at risk.
Why are you bringing somebody over in some bad health like that?
I was getting relieved. I was logging off.
That was a Chappelle Show episode 4 joke. Not good now. Not good now. No. I suppose I am being a little purposely coy, but yeah.
Just give us a little nugget.
Well, I suppose specifics, like what specific question may or may not answer.
Have dated? I mean, we've been in a lockdown. Well, not a lockdown, but we've been dealing with COVID since March.
This is someone that I've known for 24 years.
Oh, okay. All right. Longtime friend.
Long time. Not always friend.
Okay. And you don't mean that you hated this person for a while.
I hate everyone for a while.
Everybody gets a little window of hate.
Exactly.
I don't feel like I've gotten it yet. I feel kind of left out.
You just don't know you had it.
No, that's right. This is just episode 1. No, this is as kind as I get. Yeah. Which is why you two were on TV today and I wasn't. Because I would open the show like, what the fuck are you doing at home watching TV? What are you doing?
And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited you're here. We're going to talk about fall hikes.
Yeah.
And cookies.
Right?
Let's leaf peep. Yeah, you have and I know that you and Terry have worked together extensively through the years. Yet another person that Terry has amazing chemistry with, and
Terry and I get along great.
Yeah, you should.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you don't like Terry, there's something wrong with you.
I think so too.
Yeah,
like I can go out to big events with a bunch of my friends that I've worked in media, and we'll see Terry, and everyone goes, "Oh, there's Terry!"
Right.
I'm like, because my relationship with Terry's not that special.
No, you know what the deal is? I'm generally everybody's black friend.
Yeah,
I'm like the black guy you guys know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go somewhere and you go somewhere in Seattle and you meet somebody else black, you'd be like, "Oh, do you know Terry?"
Right?
Oh, that's me.
I'm just start doing that.
Actually, Terry's my first black friend that didn't fuck me over.
Hey.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very inside Terry joke.
Yeah.
No, but you're part of my resume.
I'm good. Glad.
Yeah, Terry. Yeah, I include that just to make everyone in Portland comfortable.
I worked with some difficult people, and Terry is somebody that literally I can't even imagine going into work and him being in a bad mood.
I would love to see Terry in a bad mood.
I can't imagine.
No, you wouldn't.
I would.
He's a large man. I feel like he could terrify you. If he would be like the Hulk if he was mad.
Well, I don't think just because Terry is in a bad mood, he's going to take it out on me physically. And plus, via Zoom, I can be very tough myself. So fucking bring it on, Terry.
Whoa.
You want to come here from Sahomish? I'm here.
Is this
Yeah.
No, my temper, like I can take it to the 10th degree.
Yeah.
And then when I hit that 10th degree, like I'm notorious for it. Like all the rules go out the window. Like I don't think about anything else.
Right.
Do you remember the last thing you got super mad at?
Yeah.
Oh, what was it?
Listen, I'm not gonna tell you what it was.
You can change names.
I'm not gonna tell you what it was, but let's just say I was mad enough, like I had to leave and go somewhere to do it, right? I was mad enough that I hopped in my car and put it in reverse so fast out of my own driveway that I crashed into my wife's car.
Oh my gosh.
And kept going. And kept going, like crashed it. Like.
And you were still mad enough to knock it out and be like, oh, dang it, and check for damn it. You just left.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's like literally when I hit that point, everything goes out the window.
Oh.
Like law, order.
Right. Yeah.
But I do everything I can to suppress it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Never getting there.
Did you just wake up on the side of the road in a ripped pair of purple pants the next day?
My clothes all torn up. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Gosh. I've decided that I'm getting old because every day I wake up and I come down and I turn on the news and I start arguing with it because I hear how Donald Trump still hasn't conceded.
Dude, that's my life.
It makes me so mad. I'm like, oh my God, I hate him so much. I could punch him in the face.
Yeah.
Well, here's how I know I'm getting old. Is that when I get up, I don't even turn on the news. I just yell at birds for being too goddamn loud near my window.
You just throw things in words. No,
Shaking his fist at 'em.
7 a.m. birds.
maybe I'm in good shape then.
I don't have anything to do till noon, you fucking birds.
Just hear a blowhorn. Just out the window. Yeah, no, that's all that's been making me mad lately. My kids are slobs. That makes me mad, but not run into my own car mad.
Yeah.
Just the world around us makes me mad.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. The world around us is frustrating, and to a certain degree, it made me sad a little bit.
Yeah.
And it makes me confused.
Oh
because
yeah.
A lot of times, and the reason why it makes me confused is I think, am I the one that's crazy? And the people that are like-minded like me, it couldn't possibly be, because the stuff I'm seeing going on out there in our world, in our countries especially, is insane.
Yeah,
and to have 70 million people behind it?
Yeah, no, it's. I think that's a normal emotion now that I hear you say that, because I thought I was kind of crazy, thinking like maybe other people don't talk to the TV and get worked up and get mad, but like I think because it's so weird, it's like I don't know what to do with it.
Well,
it's crazy.
It's hard to sustain that sort of rage and sort of like I don't know, being quizzical and just not and failing to understand. Like it eventually just becomes your new normal, where
it's exhausting.
When's the last time you were shocked by a story?
Listen, you guys.
A lot now.
Think about that. I want you guys to just think about where we are right now today.
Mm-hmm.
We have somebody who has clearly lost an election and will not leave. Will not say I lost, and is trying to tell you that there was fraud to the level that we have hundreds upon hundreds and hundreds of thousands of fraudulent votes.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
and in the midst of a fucking pandemic.
I love it when Terry curses.
I do too, because then I know he's getting kind of worked up.
No, and and also because he's making the most salient of points is that we are in the midst of the worst era of the pandemic. And when's the last time you heard about any sort of government action?
Nothing.
In terms of wrangling it in. He's
just been hiding in the White House, having a tantrum, tweeting about things. And it's like,
which I would do too. Like, I don't even know if I blame him for that. Like, if I won an election and then lost the next election, but I still got to hang around for a couple of months, what are you going to be gracious? No.
It would be hard. And when you watch back when Barack Obama had to have Donald Trump come to the White House, it's still the most awkward video ever. They both
awkward, but he did it, right?
He did it. He did it because he actually read an article about today. He did it because when he took the transition of power from George W. Bush, who now history is going to reflect on as a class act.
Totally.
Which is insane.
That's crazy.
I never protested policy decisions more vehemently than his post 9/11 debacles.
Right. But then you called him to concede and you go, oh my God, you're so sweet.
Yeah. But his transition of power was protocol. Like, okay, America has made a change and, it's my duty to now hand over the reins to you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've seen the viral note that George H.W. Bush left for Bill Clinton. Yeah, I wish he had put a couple more lines in, interns get mad.
Right?
Yeah, they're chatty. Yeah, but it's very, very sweet to know, okay, there's only so many people who understand what it's like to sit behind this desk. Let me impart whatever wisdom that I have. And for that not to happen, it's not necessary. People seem to think a concession speech is necessary for for Joe Biden to take office.
We know that's not needed. I think it's the blocking of the transition money. It's the who is it that signs off on releasing that.
And he's getting mail.
They're just he can't
already. Trump Biden's new forwarding address is 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
But he can't even work with the State Department or Department of Defense to do the calls with other countries that he needs to do. And it's you go, and then you get Mitch McConnell, who literally looks like a white sock puppet to me. He's got no chin and he barely opens his mouth when he speaks. Yeah. You've got Mike Pompeo. You've got all these people that are still in denial. And when Mike Pompeo said, we'll have a smooth transition to the second Trump administration, I was so mad.
Yeah.
Because it was so disrespectful.
Do you think they're truly in denial or they're just full of shit right
now? No, this is a bit.
They don't care.
This is some Andy Kaufman performance art.
They think it's funny. I think that I do think we have a lot of senators and people that are terrified of Donald Trump. It's probably the most hostile work environment in the country, in the West Wing. And, for the senators that deal with them. And I think they are all terrified to be the ones that, speak out. But it's get a backbone, will ya?
Yeah.
It's just they want to see them around.
I think they want to see who's going to inherit the Trump harem. The Trumpism, because that's a lot of people to have 72 million people vote for you, right? To have that many people in your corner, and I think that these guys are just so infatuated with power that they know that's they've never had anything like that in the White House, and so hey, if he leaves, maybe if I'm nice enough to him and I behave the way he did, they'll support me.
I hope that his behavior right now, his little tantrum he's having, really turns off the Republicans that were still on board with the two people running in that the race that will be in January. Because for those Senate seats, I want them to be you know what? You guys have acted so horribly that maybe I will vote for those two Democrats. I hope it backfires and then we are at least tied in the House.
Well, we're well ahead in the House. It's the Senate that we have to work.
The Senate, excuse me. Yeah, I want to be tied in the Senate. So, because then isn't it the decision maker in the end? If we tie, would it be Kamala Harris?
Yeah, it would.
Yeah. So I'm hoping this backfires on them.
Everybody should move to Georgia, establish residency immediately, vote, and then get the hell out of Georgia because it's just rotten there. We get it. You have peaches. Jesus. How many times do you think about eating a peach in your entire life? A dozen?
I love peaches and I'm allergic to them now.
Because you ate too many?
I ate them my whole life. And then in my 20s, I ate one and my whole throat swelled shut. So I developed a peach allergy.
I feel like you need more religion in your life.
No, I don't think that's it.
You move to Georgia, you'll get it. I promise.
You'll get it. You will get it.
Makes me hungry thinking about it.
I mean, peaches are nice, but imagine branding your whole
I wouldn't move there for the peaches. In fact, I went to Atlanta for the first time a few years ago, and I thought I was actually going to physically melt.
Yeah, well, Atlanta's the only city where I ever got bitten by a mosquito downtown.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just Jesus.
Not even by a swamp.
No, not even. You expect mosquitoes in certain areas, but it was like getting money out of an ATM. I was like, did I just get bitten by a goddamn mosquito? I'm like surrounded by skyscrapers.
Yeah,
Speaking of
normally
downtown Atlanta,
Yeah,
there's got to be like 112 streets named Peach something in Atlanta.
yeah, right.
It's
I'm
like
sure.
Peach Lane, Peach Boulevard. Where's this?
Peach Circle.
Yeah, which peach am I supposed to be on? Shit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it gets very difficult to give directions. Like,
I-
all right, it's gonna be a lot of peaches in the next 4 steps.
It's the humidity that
Really
killed
pay
me.
attention.
I got there and I was like, literally got off the plane. I was just like that. Remember the pilot in the movie Airplane? And he was just sweating. Yeah, like just buckets of water coming off me. And then my friend took me to an outdoor chili cook-off. So we're all walking around eating hot chili, and I'm just literally sweating so much that people at booths actually offered me free water. That's when you know you look like an ambulance is almost going to get called.
They know you're not from there.
I don't know how people live there.
Oh, darling, come here.
I know it's why Oregon and Washington works quite well for me.
Yeah, I'm kind of built for not necessarily the temperate climate, but I can't handle that southern heat.
No,
Yeah,
it's different. It's a different kind of thing. And my hair was like Diana Ross.
yeah, I'm sure it looked terrible. I mean,
Can I give you guys
nobody's
just something for reference before we leave Atlanta? Because I had to Google it while it was fresh on my mind. 68 streets have the name Peachtree in it in Atlanta.
Of course.
68. 68.
That is a lot of streets.
Yeah, it is.
You know, people.
Peachtree Hills, Peachtree Cluster, Peachtree Battle, Peachtree Creek.
Yeah.
It goes on and on. 68.
And again, it's a fine fruit. No one.
Don't get me hungry, you guys. I can't have it.
But it's the worst. It's amongst the worst pies.
I like cobbler. I eat peach cobbler.
I'm a cobbler.
Cobbler's probably the best thing to do with a peach.
You know why? My kids make fun of me because I always say this. I go, I like things that are oaty. You know, with the oats on them.
Oh, Odie.
Oaty.
Oaty.
And they go, oaty? That's not a word. I go, like a crumble. It's oaty. And they're like,
Yeah.
I made some this summer.
oh.
You made peach cobbler this summer?
No, Odie. I made an apple.
You made an
Odie
oaty cobbler. I actually, it's funny. As I was in Lake Chelan one time, and my friend that I went to stay with picked up peaches for Terry.
It was actually apples. It was apples. It wasn't peaches. It was apples.
Apples. I feel like is a better point of pride. Like apples are that's a base ingredient in a lot of things.
I'm allergic
Whereas
to
apples,
apples
like
too.
we're all looking up recipes. No one knows how to just turn it into
Rub
something.
it in.
Unless
And
you
messy.
live in Georgia.
Peaches are messy if they're good.
That's the thing. You want them to be messy.
Yeah, but like you can eat a couple apples in a row and still, not have to worry about wiping your hands down and everything. You eat one peach and you're a mess.
You're done. You got to take a
I don't
shower.
mean to deride Georgia's entire economy, and I don't even know how we got on Georgia.
Imagine going on a date there and you had like ribs and peaches.
Ribs and peaches.
Yeah,
Just
You
where
have to have no standards.
Southern people are they're gross for a number of reasons.
they're a mess.
Come on, man. I'm a Southern boy, man. Cut it out.
I mean, look where you are now. Did you stick around?
No, but
I thought you were
I might go back.
from Washington, Terry.
Not even close.
Where are you
I
from?
moved here when I was a senior in high school.
I'm not even sure where Terry's from. Like, I
I'm
feel like
not even
next week you'd be like, yeah, well, I spent 4.5 years in the Yukon Territory.
And
Yeah, as a
did some time in
tailback.
Beirut.
Yeah. I know.
No, I was born in West Memphis.
Oh, okay.
So I lived in I was born when my parents were in college. So I spent my first few years in Arkansas. Then I moved to Canada. Then I moved back to Arkansas, and then I moved to Texas, and then I came to Washington.
So you did like Memphis, Arkansas, Canada? How'd that happen?
My dad played Canadian football.
Oh, okay. Didn't that just seem Zach? I mean, you have to admit that sounded like a weird moving pattern.
This actually, I knew this story.
Okay.
His dad was, I'm a dual citizen, so I'm a little familiar with the CFL.
You are?
Yeah. He's Canadian.
Yeah.
You're Canadian too?
Well, I was born in Jersey, but I'm also a Canadian citizen. So I was familiar with Terry's father's fame when it comes to the CFL.
How do you have dual citizenship?
Because my parents were citizens. They were born there. And that's,
okay.
that's basically all you need. Yeah. Once your
Okay.
family member sponsors you. I got it when I was like 24, 25.
I want like dual citizenship someplace super cool, like, you know, like Ireland.
I think Canada is actually pretty super cool. I know we're connected, like we actually touch each other, which is a little gross, but Terry unfortunately spent most of his time in Edmonton, which is not the shining city on the hill.
It's not.
When it comes
Is
to
it
Canada,
gross?
it's not that great.
Is it ugly?
They call it Deadmonton. It's not just like that it's ugly. It's just like it's like after October,
Yeah.
you just get used to seeing snow until like maybe
You can traverse like the entirety
April.
of the city underground. Like they prepare.
I love snow though. I could live someplace where it starts snowing now and doesn't stop until like March.
Could you
then
live
you know
under
what?
7 feet of snow?
I'll set you up
10
I'll
feet
set
of
you up
snow?
with a studio in Edmonton, and then
If I had the right vehicle and or work situation, I probably could.
How about negative 30 degrees?
Ooh, that's too cold.
yeah,
How about that every day for like weeks and weeks on end?
yeah.
Isn't that like where you're not even like you could be driving, but if you stop your car, it could die?
Yeah, you have to. Here, I don't know if you knew this, but where we lived in Edmonton,
Mhm.
you used to have to plug your car in at night.
Isn't that like
Your car had a plug.
Is it Minot, North Dakota that's like that? I know that Josh Duhamel is from there, who I love, and they always say, "Why not Minot? Freezing's the reason." That's their slogan.
So if you go to Minot and you go directly straight up, like several hundred miles, you run into Edmonton.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. It's all coming together now. It's making sense to me.
There you go.
No, I want more of like an Aspen snow. You know what I mean? Like Whistler. Like maybe stay in Whistler Village for 5 months.
Yeah, well, everybody would love to stay at a ski resort. I mean,
Right?
that sounds fun.
I
But
like that
Edmonton,
right
there's
now.
no mountains really particularly near it. There's oil fields if you find those romantic.
During this, the whole campaigning thing, the part that was the hardest for me with Joe Biden was because he was always in Pennsylvania because he's from Scranton.
Scranton. From a small place called Scranton.
I had to live in Scranton, Wilkes-Barre for 1 year when I was 22, and it is so ugly.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God. That's like where you get that dirty snow all year and it's 7 feet and all the kids get the first day of hunting season off from school.
Mm-hmm.
So every time you'd be like, I'm so glad to be back here in Scranton. I was like, oh
yeah, he's a big liar about loving the places he's from.
Yeah,
he's
he
from
was
Scranton and
that's
Delaware.
pandering at its finest.
no way he could love
There's no one at Delaware who was like, oh, finally, I'm here.
so beautiful.
My whole life.
Yeah.
No, it was so ugly. I was like, gosh, that's probably like Edmonton then. That was my Edmonton.
Except Edmonton was never made famous, at least by an iconic sitcom.
Fun fact, Dwight's desk when you'd see the Froggy 101 sticker?
You worked at Froggy 101, didn't you?
I was Jackie Jumper in the morning.
Did you ever get Jocktobered?
With Roger Ribbit.
Wait. Did you ever get Jocktobered? Where Opie and Anthony made fun of you for a long time.
She doesn't know.
No?
Okay, you did. Okay.
I'm like,
I was just curious.
Oh, I was not that
I remember I remember they did Froggy 101. Yeah. And everybody's name there was some sort of frog pun.
Yeah, we all had our frog names. Yeah, we had Amphibian, Pollywog.
Yeah. Yep. They definitely made fun of her.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I had to do Sky Frog traffic.
What is the frog shit out there?
I don't know. It's just a redneck thing. They love it.
They love their frog.
I don't think of rednecks and frogs being like kin.
Well, it's like, I don't know. It's like, big hunting, lots of camping. Frogs, I guess, seem camping-ish. I don't know. Of course. It's country music, so yeah, I don't know. It's my only claim to fame when it comes to The Office is that I actually was on Dwight's favorite station.
Froggy 101.
Yeah, man. It's great.
All right.
Well, Jackie, really good first appearance.
Thanks,
did you like this more than doing New Day Northwest? Remember that this does get recorded.
It's way less stressful because I had someone talking in my ear and I had to know when to do live stuff and to do voiceover stuff and I don't have a teleprompter, so I was looking all over the place, I think, for a good hour. This is more, and we can say whatever we want on this.
Yeah.
There are certain things on New Day that you have to say.
Exactly.
And
Or
have to be
not
out.
phrase a certain way.
Oh, just in terms of time constraints, or just
No, just to be careful about certain things. I think there was something I said today that I did have to redo because it was for teeth whitening, and I couldn't like really just promise that it would whiten your teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to like recut it, so it was more like, oh,
It
there's
may.
a product that could help. I mean, because we don't know. The people could have
Coming up next. Is like, da-da-da-da-da-da.
yeah, and I probably
You
could
can't
talk
really riff that all the time.
What
Do
if
you think-
they did this year during the middays? Like if we just put this right on
on New Day.
good, or
I'm gonna think that it would probably give a lot of people heart failure.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's too bad because I really do feel like I speak to that audience a little bit. Like
I know,
I get struggles now more than I ever have.
I have always been very female friendly. But you know what the thing is? My kids make fun of me because I don't cuss. I've never cussed in my whole life. My kids will go, I'll give you a $20 bill, Mom, if you say an F-bomb. And I go, no, guys.
No one who uses the word cussed has ever actually cursed.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. And it's like,
think
I feel
so.
like that's my radio skill is that I can talk about dirty things. I can say without actually having to be filthy. It's all about innuendo.
Right. Yeah.
Entendre.
Yeah, it's tough to do, but I feel like it's a skill.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Never harness that.
Exactly. Like now you look back at Howard Stern and Dave Chappelle.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be dirty. I don't have to. I just innuendo.
Right.
Works
Right.
for some people.
Mhm.
It does. I'm still trying to figure out what my strongest skill is. I think it's just having the
I think
actual
it's your
screaming.
built-up anger. It's
What's
like
that?
I think it's your built-up anger because it's like right at the surface. So
Do I
you
actually seem angry? Because I'm actually not a very angry person.
no, but I feel like you could have certain topics that just set you off.
Yeah, no, that is true. I do go off.
I've seen it.
Socialism.
Ah.
That word just
Yep,
that
I've
word
seen
really
it.
pisses me off. Yeah, that one really pisses me off when people are like, "Oh, we're gonna be a socialist nation now." I have like this whole prepared monologue in terms of that. Yeah. Yeah.
So I could just like send you a text out of the blue and go, "Hey, dude, what's up? You know, I'm so scared about all this socialism stuff."
Yeah, you'll get a lot of responses.
You're going to get a phone call.
You will get
You're not going to get a return text. Your phone going to ring.
I'm like, I'm not gonna do that.
I will fill your voicemail.
Okay, then I'll just let it go to voicemail, and then I'll just listen to them all night for entertainment.
Hey, it's me, Zach again. Just want to let you know.
Yeah.
Your
Wait,
phone's
one
down,
is
man.
an economic model, and the other one is a governmental model, and I don't know why fucking people don't get that.
See, now I'm going to do that just because I want to get 17 voicemails strung together.
Yeah.
No, I had fun, you guys. I'll come back whenever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you two have any plans to be on My Day anytime soon together, or
On New Day or my
New Day? I said My Day.
It's
New
my
Day?
Northwest. I don't
Sometimes they
know.
call us.
I
Sometimes
don't
they
know.
don't.
Terry's on all the time.
Not all the time.
You are.
Not as much as I'd like.
I agree.
You know what?
I would watch it on a daily basis if Terry was the host. No lie.
Terry, you're New Day Northwest black friend.
That's me. That is, you know that black guy that's on New Day Northwest? That's
Yeah, and they go, yeah, Terry, yeah. See?
hollow.
Yeah.
They have, I don't know
I
how
wouldn't
to
even like mention you by name anymore, Terry. It's just let me come through the red tape. The guy you wouldn't expect to be there, that's there.
Yeah.
That's my goal in life, man. Be that black guy.
I'd like to come back on if they do any sort of a nighttime news special on socialism.
You and Zach.
That's what I just want. No, I just want to come back on and be like, so did you watch it? What did you think about it? And then you and I we'll just sit back and let him go.
It's socialism and communism at the same time. With
Right. That's
nationalism
what I love
together.
too, is if socialism and communism are harmonious. Oh my god.
Right.
It's yeah. Why y'all doing to this to me? So I'm gonna watch season 2 of Chappelle's Show and see if it gets better.
I think it gets better.
Wow. That is actually, I'm impressed that you're not just bailing on it. I'm the type, if I start watching something and I go, oh, I can't get myself to do it. I can't force
Yeah, you just described our viewers.
it. Right? I go, "Ooh, that was bad. Not coming back. Terry, are you going to finish? Do you just watch a few episodes of the Chappelle Show and you're done?
I don't know. I remember second season getting better. I might try that out, but maybe I just want to let my memories live.
Right?
Right. I kind of feel that way too.
Yeah, it could ruin it for you. All your memories if you keep watching it.
Yeah.
Like Breaking.
Mm-hmm.
I used to think Breaking was the greatest movie ever.
It's good.
Was that what that was? Was that the movie?
Hey, we're gonna burn these guys, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I just decided what I'm going to do if I'm on again. I'm going to make sure the pig behind me, it's going to have a little thing that says, I love socialism.
I've never stopped looking at the pig since the show goddamn started. That is a very distracting photo. Because I feel like the pig, like no matter where you are, the pig's looking right back.
Don't you think?
It is a little weird. And now that I know it's a real pig and not just some
like a cartoon.
Or just some piece of, Midwestern art that you bought to seem.
Oh no, this is Midwestern art. This isn't Babs.
Oh, it isn't. Oh, okay.
I had this before I got Babs. That's how much I wanted a pig.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I had to live through my bad art.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got a living, breathing one.
Well, Jackie, you should definitely come back. This was very fun. I enjoyed myself.
Absolutely.
Terry, have a good night, man.
Yeah, you too.
And I'll talk to you.
Maybe we'll talk before Thanksgiving when you hang out with that special person in a wheelchair with the straw.
Yeah, and believe me, you'll hear far less details than you heard tonight because I'm gonna be coy for a while.
Whatever. Yeah. Build the mystery for us. That's fine.
It is a mystery. Let me just say this though: she's worth $20.5 million.
Then I become a lesbian for her.
Yeah,
I'm on board.
That's weirdly what she's asking. It's weirdly what she's asking of me. No. All right, but
sign me up.
Yeah. Thanks, Terry. Talk to you on Tuesday. Sound good?
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. Bye, guys.
All right, everybody. Click the share button.